This is the new Samsung Odyssey OLED G81SF 27-inch 4K 240Hz gaming monitor, and with its 4th gen QD-OLED panel with 166 pixels per inch, it promises to be the best 27-inch OLED gaming monitor in Samsung's lineup. But with its $1,299 price tag, is it worth it? Should you buy it, and did Samsung make a huge mistake and leave out a super important feature to future-proof your setup? Let's roll that intro and find out. After years of doing product reviews, a new trends emerged where brands are now requiring reviewers to submit their videos for final approval before it ever goes online. Now, this often means the brand can ask to remove anything deemed negative, which means product reviews are more influenced by the brand than ever. Now, because of this, I vow that anything I review on this channel will not only cover the good, but the bad, and because I don't do ads, cover the ugly as well. It's time to get brutally honest about reviews. This is full transparency.
Brutally honest review.
That's right, this is a brutally honest review, and because my videos are not sponsored, that means I have to pay out of pocket to keep this channel going. So if you find this video helpful, consider using my links. If we can grow this channel big enough, I'll even start giving away what I review to you. Once out of the box, the body has a strong resemblance to a Dell productivity monitor in color. However, unlike a Dell monitor's plastic body, it sports a sleek metal housing that gives it a premium feel. Once assembled, the monitor has a max height just under 22 inches, a width of about 24 inches, a depth just over 10 inches, and weighs in at about 15 pounds. I mention max height because it is height adjustable, can swivel left and right, tilt up and down, and go into portrait mode for those looking to spend $1,300 on a QD-OLED panel for Discord. It sports what Samsung calls a glare-free display, which is more matte than glossy and may be a deal breaker for some, but does do a better job at handling reflections, and I don't feel like anything is lost in regard to picture clarity when gaming. It also has a flat panel, which makes sense at its 27-inch size. Taking a look at the connections on the back from left to right, we have a USB Type-A downstream/service port, a USB Type-B upstream port, another USB Type-A downstream port, a 3.5mm audio line-out jack, two HDMI 2.1 connections for console gamers looking for 4K 120Hz compatibility with variable refresh rate, a DisplayPort 1.4 connection, and your AC power connector. And if we look up above, we can see it is 100mm by 100mm VESA compatible, and when powered up features an LED circle on the back for that RGB gamer aesthetic, which features CoreSync, which acts like a Philips Hue light strip on the back of your TV and projects whatever colors are on screen on your wall. The menu has the typical features you'd expect in a gaming monitor. Things you'll want to pay attention to include virtual aim point if you need a little assistance when playing PvP, Infinity Core lighting to control the back RGB, picture mode, which includes a number of presets including entertain, graphic, which I'm assuming is aimed at content creators, so I'm using to edit this video, eco, game, standard, RPG, RTS, FPS, sports, original, and custom. And of course, you can make further edits by controlling things like brightness, contrast, sharpness, color, contrast enhancer, tone mapping, and more. And you can go into panel care to initiate a pixel refresh or adjust how bright static images display on screen to help prevent burn-in. It does, of course, employ Samsung's Safeguard Plus dynamic cooling system, which claims to reduce heat 5 times faster than graphite. And in addition to the logo and taskbar brightness controls we found in the menu, the screen auto dims after 10 minutes to help minimize your burn-in risk when going AFK. Now, let me be clear and straight to the point here. The G81SF, when it comes to picture quality alone, is a fantastic monitor. You've got everything you'd expect from a 4th gen QD OLED panel, like a 240Hz refresh rate with a 0.03 millisecond response time, HDR10 Plus gaming, AMD FreeSync Premium Pro, and VESA Display HDR True Black 400. There should be no doubt this monitor will meet your expectations, and if you're coming from an IPS or non-OLED, even exceed them. But there are other brands releasing equivalent models with the same 4th gen QD OLED panel who offer the same advertised 99% DCI-P3 color gamut, 250 nits of brightness, and 166 pixels per inch, which does make a difference when it comes to text fringing and clarity. And after testing 2 of those competitor models, I can safely say that every option meets what's advertised in regards to color accuracy and brightness. However, some of those brands offer more features for less money. Let's talk talk about the possible reasons why, like the title of this video, you may not want to buy the G81SF. First up would be the glare-free display, which is definitely more on the matte side than a glossy screen, and while I personally have no issue with it because gaming on this monitor is beautiful, I've seen my fair share of comments who will not have any part of it and will instantly disregard a monitor simply because it's not a glossy screen. Is this a deal breaker for you? Let me know, I'm curious to see how many of you are adamant on this. Next up may be the most minor of issues, but I've seen a number of complaints about this on previous Samsung monitor reviews, and it's the silver bezel that wraps around the outer edges of the front of the monitor. If you game in low light and keep your curtains closed during the day, I really don't think it'll be an issue, but it does become noticeable when you let daylight in, and it's probably those daytime folks who are going to have a problem with it. The next one is going to be a huge deal breaker for some, and probably the main reason you're likely to choose a competitor, and that's the DisplayPort 1.4 connection in a time when most of the competition is already embracing DisplayPort 2.1, and while I've received mixed comments where some say 2.1 is a must and some say 1.4 with DSC is just fine, the majority out there seem to agree that DisplayPort 2.1 at this stage in the game, where everybody owns a 50 series card, should be standard. This is the super important feature I mentioned at the beginning of the video. You let me know how important this is to you. That brings us to the final reason you may not want to buy the G81SF, and that's the current $1,299 price tag, making it the most expensive 4K 27-inch 4th Gen QD OLED on the market. I'm going to put links to what I feel are better alternatives in the description and top comment, but other options you should seriously consider that already have DisplayPort 2.1 and are cheaper are the MSI MPG 272 URX at $1,099, though it can be hard to find in stock, and the Asus PG27 UCDM at $1,199, which in addition to the DisplayPort 2.1 has additional features like OLED anti-flicker and Dolby Vision. But let's say the lack of DisplayPort 2.1 is not a deal breaker for you and you're all in on the Samsung at its $1,299 price point. Well, what if I told you you could get practically the same monitor with the addition of Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos pass-through, G-Sync compatibility, and is VESA Adaptive Sync certified for, get this, almost $500 cheaper? Well, right now you can, and it comes in the form of the Alienware AW2725Q, which at the time of this video is on sale for $829. I reviewed it, I approve it, and if you're wanting to jump into 4th Gen QD OLED gaming without breaking the bank, it's the most affordable way to go. So which 4K 27-inch 4th Gen QD OLED gaming monitor are you going to buy and why? I tried to be as unbiased as possible in this video and only present you with information I thought would help you make your best purchasing decision, so don't grill me if you disagree with this video. Nobody is paying me to take a shot at Samsung. This is an amazing monitor, I just think there may be better options for less money. If you made it this far into the video, comment friends till the end and let me know if there's a specific product you'd like to see reviewed on this channel. That's going to wrap things up for today. I'll see you next time.